If you like watching a lot of fashion and style content on social media, you have probably come across Ellie-Jean Royden. I have been following her TikTok channel and her YouTube channel for quite some time now, and she's a style consultant and she does some excellent videos on analysing celebrity style or characters from film and TV, and she talks a lot as well about Kibbe body types. And I think that's how I must have come across her videos initially, because I was delving into the world of Kibbe, trying to figure out what my Kibbe body type is, and I think I must have just come across her content and I've been following her ever since. And she has recently come up with her own styling system called Style Routes, and I've seen all of her videos on Style Routes, and I think it's a really interesting new concept of looking at how to best dress for yourself to embody your true self. So what I want to do in today's video is to go through what I think are my style routes and see how that kind of correlates to my House of Colour clothing personality, and also what I think is my Kibbe style, which is soft dramatic. I will link it down below, but she has a Style Routes quiz on her channel and I watched that a couple of days ago. I've got my notepad here of what I think my answers are, and she says that this Style Routes isn't a separate standalone thing, it's to be used in conjunction with things like Kibbe, like Kitchener essences. So I want to use this in conjunction with, like I say, what I think is my Kibbe body type and my House of Colour clothing personality. There are 8 style routes as part of her system, so they are mountain, mushroom, stone, flower, fire, earth, sun and moon. And when you do the quiz you have 3 dominant style routes that come out on top. And the quiz itself is really easy. There's no analysing your body proportions, there's no trying on different clothes and seeing what works, there's no looking at the colour in your veins or your hands, your eyes. It's a simple this or that quiz. So it's got 5 questions and you choose between 1 of 2 answers. So just to run you through what my 5 answers are, and this will make sense if you've done the quiz or if you're yet to do the quiz, but the answers that I chose between a this or that was that I would rather be modest, I would rather wear light colours, I would rather come across as being on top of things, I'd rather be perceived as strong, and I'd rather be perceived as being timeless. And then you rank your top 3, and the 3 that I felt were most like me were being timeless. I like very much classic timeless pieces. I'm not really bothered at all about trends. I also wanted to look like I was on top of things. I really want to look put together, and put together was something that I kind of kept saying in my House of Colour styling appointment as well. I wanted to look like I kind of had my stuff together, you know. And then the other one was modest. I don't like showing a lot of flesh, I don't like wearing really low cut things, I like a fairly modest appearance to my outfits. So we then needed to work out what my 3 dominant style routes are, and to do this she said that if you chose this particular word as being in your top 3, it could mean that you have this particular style route. So out of the 8 style routes there are 4 that are potentially mine. The first one is flower, and only one of my top 3 words comes from the flower style route. And what I mean by that is that she said if you had this word, this word, this word, this word, this word, this word, you could have flower as your style route, and only 1 out of my top 3 comes from the flower one. Next was stone, and 2 of my top 3 words came from stone, so stone is a pretty strong one. But then interestingly, all 3 of my top words came from both mountain and mushroom. So mountain and mushroom are really strong style routes for me. So she then went on to list the kind of like keywords associated with each of the 8 style routes, and I decided to pick out the top 3 out of those words that I felt like I resonated with the most. And for mountain and mushroom it was actually quite difficult to pick what I thought were my top 3, but just to give you some examples, for the mountain style route the words that I really resonated with were polished, structured and expensive. And this goes back to me saying that I like to look put together, I like to look polished, I like to look like I've kind of thought about my outfit and I'm not, you know, rushing out the door. Structured, I like a bit of tailoring, a bit of neatness, a bit of formality within my outfits. And expensive, Yeah, I think everybody kind of likes to look expensive, don't they? If there's an option between expensive and cheap, I think we would all like to look a little bit expensive. And then with mushroom, the words that I kind of resonated with the most were put together. That's a really key one. I've already said a couple of times, I think, that I really do like putting put together. That is very important for me. I don't like to look sloppy at all. Classic. And if we're going back to a previous video, a previous wardrobe update video, I think, where I went through Alison Bornstein's 3 style words, classic is one of them. This is a really strong style word for me. And if we look at my House of Colour clothing personality, I'm a natural classic. So classic, really key. I like classic, timeless pieces within my wardrobe. Like I say, I'm not bothered about trends, couldn't care less. I very much like these timeless classic pieces that stand the test of time. And then the other word was curated. If you would prefer visual representation of what these style routes are rather than words, she does have Pinterest boards for each of the 8 style routes, and this was really interesting and useful to see what mountain looks like within clothes. So I had a look at the mountain style board that she has on Pinterest and the mushroom one, and these two are definite no-brainers for me. I'm absolutely mushroom, I've absolutely got mountain as my style route, so I'm very, very comfortable with those. Those definitely are me. So I said that stone was a high possibility because 2 out of my 3 top words came from the stone style route. So I looked at her combined style routes on Pinterest. I looked at the mountain, mushroom and stone style routes board, had a look at the outfits that she's got on that board, and I'm not actually convinced that stone is my third one. It's got a bit of athleisure to it. Athleisure. That's not really me. As far as that goes for me is wearing trainers. I don't wear hoodies or jogging bottoms. If I wear that, that's when I can then start to feel not polished and not put together. It's too casual for me. I start to feel a little bit sloppy when I do that. And just looking at some of the pictures here on her Pinterest board, it's wearing like a sweater tied over your shoulders. I would never do that. That's a little bit too preppy then for me. That's not really my style personality. It's wearing things that are oversized. I don't particularly like to wear things that are oversized. I feel like I lose my figure, and again, I look quite sloppy when I do that. I don't wear baseball caps. So although I think these outfits are nice, and with this potentially being my third style route, it's just having a touch of this in there. It's not the dominant part of my outfits. I still don't fully resonate with that one. So I don't actually think, despite 2 of my 3 words being from the stone style route, I don't think stone is my third style route. And also looking at the words that are associated with stone as well, I found this one really difficult to pick my top 3 words that I resonated with the most. I went for relaxed, casual and urban, but to be honest, I don't really resonate with any of these words. I don't really have a super relaxed outfit style, because when I do go fully relaxed, again, I feel sloppy. I feel like it's not really me. It's lacking the structure, it's lacking the put togetherness that I need in my outfits. Casual, I think I do prefer a slightly more formal attire, I suppose. And then urban, I'm not really urban. I'm not really trendy and wear a lot of like street style type clothing. So I think that's another reason why I don't think stone is one of my style routes, because I'm not resonating with a lot of the words that are associated with stone. So I then went back to flower, which was the 4th possibility of being one of my style routes, and I resonated with more words with this one. The top 3 that I resonated with were Parisian. I very much like Parisian style. It looks put together, it looks classic, it looks timeless, but it has an ease about it that I really like. So Parisian was one, elegant was one, and that kind of coincides with words from mountain and mushroom, like classic, put together, polished, structured. And then the other word that I resonated with was feminine, and I do like to look feminine as part of my outfits, as part of my aesthetic. So I then had a look on the Mushroom Mountain and Flower style roots board that she has on Pinterest, and this looks better than the stone one. So the stone one looked a little bit too casual, a little bit too relaxed for me, whereas with the flower, having flower as that third kind of like undercurrent, everything looks a little bit more formal, a little bit more polished, a little bit more kind of put together, and I can definitely see how a lot of these outfits are feminine. So from doing this test as a standalone thing, I think that my 3-star routes are Mushroom, Mountain and Flower. However, I want to kind of look at it through a Kibbe lens with my soft dramatic head on. So I think that Mushroom and Mountain definitely have to stay here, because although being soft dramatic has a diva chic essence to it, I still have to dress in a way that's authentic to me, and dressing in dresses, skirts, lots of glamorous outfits on a day-to-day basis is not me. So Mountain and Mushroom definitely still have to be my 2 strongest style routes, having that structure, that classicness, that elegance feeling put together in my outfits. So what I did was that I had a look through the other 4 style routes. So I went back to her Pinterest boards where she has those standalone style routes, and there were a couple that I was able to very easily say, no, not at all, this is not me. First up is Sun. This one is, to me, seems very playful, very bold, very experimental. It's clashing lots of prints, it's wearing really bright colours, lots of different textures. I feel like if I embodied a bit of Sun, that would make me stand out too much, and I don't want that. Sun is too experimental for me. I like to kind of play it safe in a way, so Sun, definitely not. Moon is another definite no. I'm looking at the style boards, by the way, I will put up some pictures. Moon is very like dark, it's very kind of gothic core, I would say. So a lot of black in the outfits. It's kind of like alternative style, which is very much not me. I like it, I like a lot of the outfits, but I feel like I would be playing dress up if I was to wear some of these outfits. So that was another one that was a no. I then looked at Earth, and Earth has this very bohemian, relaxed style to it. So it's real sort of like natural textures, which I do like, but looking at the outfits, it's all very kind of like safari chic and bohemian, and again, not me. It's too 70s inspired in my eyes. Again, I would feel like I would be kind of dressing up if I was to wear a lot of these outfits. I wouldn't really kind of wear many of these outfits at all. I wouldn't really kind of like take a lot of inspiration from these outfits as well. It's not like a copy and paste thing. It's not me going, oh, I'm going to dress exactly like this picture, but seeing what elements I can take from it. And apart from the natural materials, I don't think I would really take anything else from it. So that left me with one style route to look at, and this was Fire. And this style route is very sexy, it's very glamorous, it's very seductive. And looking at a lot of the outfits, I can see a lot of soft dramatic friendly lines in here. So again, it's not a copy and paste, because if I was looking at the individual outfits within here, there's hardly any that I would wear. But what I do like about this is that the outfits are very feminine, but with Flower, where Flower can feel like girly feminine, Fire feels like a bit more mature feminine, like a woman who's very assured of herself. She knows what she wants, whereas with Flower it feels very like girly, cute and innocent. So I think I am more on the Fire side of femininity than the Flower side. Also, what I like with some of these outfits as well is that they are very kind of form-fitting. They show off your figure, and I quite like that. I mean, I wouldn't wear a lot of the low-cut stuff or the shortness in some of the outfits, but I can definitely take inspiration from some of this. So there's an outfit here. I will put this one up on screen. I would wear this. It's an off-shoulder top. The trousers are sort of hugging the hips. I think this is a very soft dramatic friendly outfit. A lot of the tops have openness to them. That's very soft dramatic friendly as well. The materials are very rich and luxurious. There's velvet in there. There's a little bit of leather. This as well, having a nice big kind of like flower in your hair as well. So it's very womanly, it's very seductive, but it's also expensive and luxurious as well. So I then looked at the words that Ellie-Jean says are associated with fire, and I resonated with a lot of those words as well. So the top three that I picked out were powerful. I do quite like to look powerful. Again, that kind of ties in for me with words like polished, structured, put together. Another word that I associated with was romantic. That to me is how I want to kind of get across my femininity, have a bit of romance in there. And then the other word was luxurious, and that coincides nicely with classic, curated, expensive. So if we're looking at my style routes through a Kibbe perspective, I think that the 3 style routes would be mountain, mushroom and fire. So mountain and mushroom are key regardless of what I think that 3rd style route is. I need to have this kind of put together vibe to my outfits. I need structure, I need them to be composed of classic pieces, I need to be put together, I need to look timeless. But I think what I want to do moving forwards is to play with a bit of that fire style route, to have that bit of soft dramatic influence coming through. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to be wearing skimpy dresses or very low cut tops, very like romantic, elegant, diva chic bombshell style outfits like a Bond girl, for example, because that is not me. But I can adopt some of those elements rather into my outfit, so I can, you know, start to maybe curl my hair a bit more. I've started to wear bigger earrings, but maybe I can wear more luxurious earrings, maybe experiment with a bit of like flowers in my hair or a nice glitzy hair clip, try a bit of velvet, a little bit of leather in my outfits perhaps, experiment with better necklines, because a crew neckline like this isn't really soft dramatic friendly. So although I was a bit kind of torn between whether I think flower and fire are my 3rd style route, they do have things in common. So they are very feminine, both of them, but it's whether I go for a slightly more innocent, youthful femininity or a more mature, romantic femininity. They both have a bit of luxury in them. Luxurious is a word associated with fire. Elegance, Parisian, is a word associated with flower. So I don't think that I really need to get too hung up about whether it's flower or fire, but as long as I try to embody a bit of femininity, a bit of luxuriousness, a bit of romance within my outfits, but still making sure that mountain and mushroom are the key ones, because that is what I really do resonate with the most. It's just that either flower or fire has a bit of undercurrent coming through. It's like the cherry on top. It's like the final sprinkle on top. So if you've done Ellie-Jean's style routes quiz, please let me know what your style routes are in the comments down below. If you have the same ones as I do, please let me know how that kind of comes through in terms of getting dressed on a day-to-day basis. We'd be really interested to hear how you kind of put these style routes into practice. Let me know as well if you want me to do a video putting together some outfits as well for these style routes. I can maybe give that a go, or if you've got any other ideas about something similar that you would like to see as well, please do let me know. But I hope you found it interesting. I will link Ellie-Jean's YouTube channel, her TikTok and that style routes video, but like I said at the beginning, if you are into this kind of thing, you've probably come across her anyway, but if you haven't, do go and check her out. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it, and I will see you again very soon for my next one. Bye.